Hello everybody, it's Vertical Sandwich. Welcome back to Book Review 2. This is our second book review for Hugo Award-winning novel. Well, this one's a Hugo Award-winning novel. And I know what you're saying. You're saying Vertical Sandwich, it looks like you're wearing the same clothes and it's the same kind of day and you're in the exact same place. And you still haven't shaved from the last book review, and that's true, because that book review happened 5 minutes ago. So, because it's like the day, it's the 4th of July, actually, today. It's literally noon in the 4th of July. It's like 90 degrees. I'm sitting outside. It's a little gross. It's slightly humid out here. Yeah, but I'm in my backyard. I mean, it's how can you ask for a better backdrop? Yeah, it probably to you looks pretty nicely painted, but I stained it, years ago, and it's kind of coming apart. I really didn't use the right stuff, and I need to. Anyway, this is neither here nor there. We're here to talk about Roger Zelazny's Lord of Light, right here. Boom. And this is the legendary sci-fi classic, is what this book is telling you it is. So let's read the back cover, shall we? Earth is long since dead. On a colony planet, a band of men has gained control of technology, made themselves immortal, and now rules their world as the gods of the Hindu pantheon. Only one dares oppose them, he who was once Siddhartha and is now Mahatman, binder of demons, Lord of Light. Okay, so here's the thing about this. Let's read this. Just a little bit, the copyright allowed part. His followers called him Mahatman and said he was a god. He preferred to drop the Maha and the Atman, however, and called himself Sam. He never claimed to be a god, but then he never claimed not to be a god. Circumstances being what they were, neither admission could be of any benefit. Silence, though, could. Therefore there was mystery about him. It was in the season of the rains. It was well into the time of the great wetness. It was in the days of the rains that their prayers went up, not from the fingering of knotted prayer cords or the spinning of prayer wheels, but from the great prayer machine in the monastery of Ratri, goddess of the night. The high-frequency prayers were just directed upward through the atmosphere and out beyond it, passing into that golden cloud called the Bridge of the Gods, which circles the entire world and is seen as a bronze rainbow at night and is the place where the red sun becomes orange at midday. Some of the monks doubted the orthodoxy of this prayer technique, but the machine had been built and was operated by Yamadharma, fallen of the celestial city, and it was told he had ages ago built the mighty thunder chariot of Lord Shiva, that engine that fled across the heavens, belching gouts of fire in its wake. So this book is about a far future where people have come from Earth and by cloning themselves through generations and keeping their technology from their offspring have set themselves up as gods of a new planet, and they've set themselves up as the Hindu pantheon of gods. They are clearly not the Hindu pantheon of gods, but they're using a mythology that they remember from their home planet to run a religion over their descendants. And there's one guy who is opposed to them. His name is Sam, and he has set himself up as the Buddha and is using Buddhism as a weapon to fight against these guys. Also, somebody is mowing their lawn. But yes, so it's fantastic. Like, this is fantastic. This is Zelazny's thing. Zelazny really likes to take mythology and work it into science fiction. The Zelazny really loves to mix mythology into science fiction, and this book does an amazing job with it. This book really works around kind of the way that beliefs can enslave people and technology can enslave people, and how the two working together can be a very deadly combination. But there's also some really beautiful stuff with these people who claim to be gods dealing with one another behind the scenes with other beings that know that they're not gods. And that's kind of fun, because they've known each other for hundreds of years, and they joke on first-name basis, and they have stories to tell about one another, and memories of one another, and old romances and things like that. And that stuff can be very lighthearted. And then other things can be very emotional and dark and scary and very high stakes. Zelazny does this seamlessly. He like seamlessly combines these two things together. One of the things I need to say about this is our last book review, I said that I read the book in 2 days. I couldn't read Lord of Light in 2 days. Lord of Light took me a while longer. I couldn't put it down, but it did take a bit to read it. Zelazny is a heavier writer. His craft is far more detailed. And frankly, I didn't know a lot about the Hindu pantheon of gods, so I really had to look a lot of stuff up. And if you're into that, this is the place to go. It's very good that way. If you're not, if what you want is you're like, I want a lighthearted book that doesn't tell me anything about the human condition, this is not that book. This is a different book than that book. This is a book about the way our beliefs function to change who we are and where we are, and the way that technology can hinder or free us. The fact that Zelazny struggles with these things while still giving you really kind of fun characters and like a war to be involved in and kind of these stakes, and it's fantastic. He just does a great job of really kind of roping you in and going like, okay, gods are going to war, but they're not really gods. Like, they're old shipmates who like to joke with one another. Like, go. Humanity's soul is at stake. This is the book. This is the book right here. It's a lot of fun that way. It's a lot. It's very great that way. I will say that there are some things we're going to talk a little bit later about an earlier novel of Zelazny's that uses the like the Greek pantheon of gods that I don't like, but this one I like. And one of the things I really like about it is sci-fi in the 60s, or at least a little earlier, really liked to tie itself up. Like at the end, it really liked to hand you a package and be like, there, you shouldn't have any questions about this. We covered everything. It's all wrapped up. And this book doesn't do that. Zelazny just goes, you don't need to know a lot of stuff. Like, you don't need to know. Like, we'll hint at some things, but like, you don't need the answer to every question about these people. And that's another thing you have to be into. If what you want to do is you need to know every moment of every character's life in a book that you're reading, like, that's not where this book's taking you. This book is going to make you ask questions about who you are, who these people are, where they go, and where you're going. And that's huge. That's amazing. It's an amazing thing for a science fiction novel to do. And this one does it masterfully. I would strongly suggest this novel. Here's one of the things. One of the things I think about when I read science fiction novels, or actually any genre novels, is I go, wow, I used to be a lit major. Would a teacher have made me read this? A teacher would have made me read this. And they would have been right to do it. Because this is an intelligent book. And an entertaining one. So, that has something important to tell you, or at least to ask you. So yeah, this is masterful. This is a legendary sci-fi classic. Legendary. So yeah, so that's our review for the 1968 Hugo Award winner, Lord of Light by Roger Zelazny. I'm going to do the next one sometime when my neighbor is not mowing his lawn, and we will do that. This book is available anywhere good books are sold, or anywhere on the internet if you just type in this guy's name and Zelazny Lord of Light, and I'm sure you will find it where I found it, which is, and they'll send you a copy that's just like this one. Or a different copy, because this has probably gone through like 18 editions by now. It's like a 50-year-old book. So, I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye, everybody.